What's going on, everyone? My name's Eric, and today we're going to be checking out a guitar that usually doesn't pop into rotation here, but I figured we'd show it anyways because these things are pretty neat. If you don't know what this is a Strandberg 7-string Boden guitar. This is a headless guitar, multi-scale, has a very unique neck on this guitar. This guitar also has a headless tremolo system to kind of go with it. And if you don't know anything about Strandberg guitars, they are built for ergonomics first and foremost, and they are very popular amongst like the prog, fusion, and the gent community, for example. But you can also use this guitar for genres outside of the ones I just mentioned, and yeah, these things are pretty cool. It's very light, it's very ergonomic, it's very comfy, and more or less a travel guitar. And it's funny because for how small this thing is, this guitar actually is an extended range guitar. This guitar is in just for a quick setup, so I thought I'd walk you through how I dive into headless guitars and what I do that's maybe a little bit different or the same to other guitars, especially guitars that have a headless tremolo system. So I'll walk you through how we deal with all that. Otherwise, sit back and let's get into it. And here's a close-up of the guitar. Here's the bridge. This is what it looks like right from under there. There's a little bit of space there so the bridge can go up and down. It can kind of float up and down. Output jack right down there. It's kind of hidden away. This is really nice, especially when you're playing live or when you're sitting down and playing. Some humbuckers. This is also a multi-scale. So essentially with that multi-scale design, you have two scale lengths, a longer scale length for the bass side down here and a shorter scale length for the treble string, and these strings are going to be stretched a little bit longer so then they can hold tuning and intonate better, especially when you are tuning down. We have lumen lace side dots on this guitar, so these are going to glow in the dark and it's going to help you see the frets better, especially when you're playing on a dark stage. There's the trim cavity, no back cover, which is pretty nice, very easily accessible. Looks like we got a nice like zinc or aluminum block down there, really nice design. It's not like one of those cheap blocks that come with some of those other trims that I've seen in the past. Probably an ash body just from the grain. Battery compartment down there. Yeah, electronics cover. Bolt-on design. And it might be hard to capture, but this neck is actually asymmetrical, so you might be able to see kind of like this trapezoid line. I'm going to run my fingers up. And this is going to go with your hand up and down the fretboard, so your hand actually isn't changing its position, so you can actually have a very comfortable hand position when you're playing the guitar right at the top of the fingerboard and right at the bottom. This is a really unique design, and this is a very comfy design as well. I know a lot of people have said that this line and this trapezoidal line like is not that comfy, but to be honest, like it feels really good and it's something that you can adjust to pretty quickly. That's it for the guitar. It doesn't seem like there's any finish flaws or fit flaws. Of course, this is a used guitar, and this guitar has been played on stage, so it's actually kept in pretty good condition as well, and I already plugged it in. There's no issues with the electronics, so that's a good thing to know if you're going to be buying one of these things used. It seems like these guitars hold up pretty well. Now let's take the strings off and let's get into setting this guitar up. The first thing you want to do when you're setting up your Strandberg guitar that has this trem system on it, you want to make sure that the trem is going to be level when you actually remove all of the strings on it. So I actually don't have the trem bar for this. The owner didn't include it when he brought the guitar over. So I'm just going to take this screwdriver, I'm going to toss it in where the bar would go. It's going to move the bridge forward a little bit, and I'm going to stick a piece of cardboard right in there. And that's just going to sit just like that. When I start loosening the strings, the bridge is actually going to stay flat because this cardboard is supporting it. And this is going to make your life way easier when you're changing strings and getting the bridge back up to the neutral position. The next thing you're going to do is start loosening the string tension on all of the strings here. And you're just going to be moving this piece back here that I'm poking. You're going to be moving this counterclockwise. So strings all floppy. You're then going to take the Allen wrench that comes with your Strandberg. Some of these actually have the multi-tool. This is an older one, so you just get some loose Allen wrenches. What you're going to do, unscrew the string lock that's there, pull the string through, and you're going to slide the string out just like that and throw the string out. At this point, you're just going to repeat the process for the rest of the strings, and then we will see you for the next bit. Another thing to be mindful of on these older Strandberg trem systems is that sometimes when you take the strings off, these bridges decide to pop up a little bit. You literally just push it back into place, and then you just restring your guitar, and that's it. It's a known issue, it's documented, and that's literally on the Strandberg website, and they know best when maintaining their guitars. At this point, I'm just going to go over and clean up the guitar. This guitar does have a satin finish, so if there are swirl marks or if there's like smudging or like wear spots, what you can do is simply spray a little bit of guitar cleaner, something like this here, and just work it in with a microfiber cloth Even if you have like some gunk on the pickups like we have here, you could take that same guitar polish, spray it onto a cloth, wipe the pickups down. These are covered, so this is totally fine. Just like that, brand new covers. And of course, if your pickup switch is giving you some issues, giving you some scratchy noises or not a solid connection, use a little bit of this contact cleaner, spray it right in the switch, right in there, and in there, run it back and forth, and that should fix it. If it doesn't, you might have to replace the switch, or it might be another issue altogether. The frets on this guitar also look pretty good. I'm pretty sure these guitars come with stainless steel frets, and yes, stainless steel can have a little bit of wear and a little bit of dirt over time, so you can simply just wipe it down with like a microfiber cloth, or if you really want to get detailed, you can get the Music Nomad Frine kit. You can use the actual polish that comes with it and polish those frets with the fret guard. I also like to use this quadruple zero steel wool on those fret guides, and then that's kind of the best way to clean up the frets in my opinion. Go slow with it, and you don't need to get a big chunk like that, and that's going to get these frets really clean, and that's pretty much it. The guitar seems like it doesn't really need much. I'm going to do all that off camera, and I'm going to see you for the next bit. Something else you should do on your guitar, if it has any springs or any sort of sympathetic vibrations coming from the nut, the bridge, or the trem claw back here, as you can hear, that's just kind of rattling. You're going to notice all of that, especially when you are recording, or if you're doing heavy palm mutes and you really want to have like a really tight percussive sound on your guitar. What you want to do, put a little bit of foam in those areas. As you can hear, no more vibration. The foam is not going to affect how the trem moves or operates or anything like that. This just cleans up the noise, and it's a really quick and easy fix to help you sound way better. Alright, at this point we are ready to string up the guitar. I am just going to use the proprietary D'Addario 9.5 to 64 Strandberg set that comes stock on these guitars when you buy them brand new. Very easy to string up these guitars as well. I want to feed the string in through the back part here of the bridge. Pull it through and just get the non-tapered end. Pull it all the way through. And then I'm going to feed the string in through the locking nut. I'm going to take my Allen wrench and lock it down. Then you're going to repeat that process for the rest of the guitar strings. Alright, so now we're going to tune the guitar up. This guitar is going to be half step down with a drop G sharp on the very bottom here. I'm going to start with the 6th string right here, just so it's a little bit more audible, since that's going to be tuned to E flat. What we're going to be doing, the exact opposite of what we did to loosen the string. We're going to be going back here on this thumb screw here, rotating it clockwise. And there, I'm in tune. And you're going to repeat this process for every other string, and I'll see you for the next bit. Alright, as you can see here, the trem is kind of sitting on this backwards angle. It's kind of sitting and pulling backwards a little bit, and we want it sitting up more, just like that, where it's actually kind of flat and flush with the body if my camera's going to focus. So in order to correct the trem from pulling back, what we want to do is go to the back of the guitar. We need to unscrew those screws right from the back of the body. That is going to be able to lift the bridge up a little bit, and then I just have to keep tuning the guitar and making sure it is going to be sitting in tune. So I'm going to go do that, and I'll see you for the next bit. Alright, so now we're going to get to setting the action on the Strandberg trem. What you want to do is detune the string so it's fully slacked. You're going to move it to the side. You're going to take the smallest Allen wrench that they give you, or if you have one of the newer ones, you're going to be using the multi-tool that comes with a lot of the newer Strandbergs. There's going to be a set screw that's on the side of the guitar. You're going to screw into it. You're going to loosen that. Take a flathead screwdriver, or just use your fingers, and adjust it down or up just like that. Alright, next up we are going to intonate the guitar, and the way we do that is very similar to other guitars for the most part. There's going to be another set screw that has a hex wrench fitting that is inside all of these saddles, and I'm going to get a picture of that so you can all see it. That is holding down where the saddle is actually being placed. So what you want to do is check your intonation as you would on any other guitar. You're going to play each string open, and then you're going to play the note at the 12th fret, and depending on whether the note is either sharp or flat, you're going to then loosen the string. You're then going to loosen the set screw that is in here, and then you're going to move the saddle either forward or backward. And if the note at the 12th fret is going to be too sharp in relation to the open note, you want to take the saddle and move it backwards. And if the note is too flat at the 12th fret in relation to the open note, you want to take the saddle and move it forward. Tune the guitar up, check your intonation again, and repeat the process for the rest of the strings until your guitar is fully intonated. Last but not least, this is the insert for where you insert the Allen wrench to adjust the truss rod if your neck has a forward or a backward bow. The neck on this guitar is fully straight, but otherwise this truss rod adjusts just like any other guitar would. And here's the guitar all finished up, cleaned up, polished, set up. It looks good, it feels good, and just been playing it on the couch unplugged, and it is so easy to navigate and play on this guitar. Got the action super low on this guitar, as you'd expect for any guitar that I kind of set up, and this thing is just effortless to play. You barely have to push the strings down just to get it to play, and it feels very comfy. Really, really comfy guitar, very ergonomic. Again, this is an ergonomic design guitar. It's designed to just be a very well-playing guitar, and it checks out. Let's go over a couple specs really quick. We got an ash body on this guitar, and this is an actual maple top. You can actually see the separation of the maple up here and the ash body. Nice flame maple top right here. This is the deep blue finish from Strandberg. We have two Fishman Modern pickups, ceramic in the bridge, Alnico in the neck, three-way selector. Volume and tone, we got the push-pull on both of them to access voice 1 and voice 2 of the Fishman pickups, and we also have the single coil option as well. A lot of versatility from the electronics on this guitar. We got the original Strandberg proprietary design floating trim. This one feels good. I'm pretty sure this one was updated as well, so this is a Gen 1 from my understanding here. Going up to the fingerboard, this is a multi-scale fan fret design here. So on the low strings down here, this is a 26.25 inch scale, and then it fans up to around 25.5 inches on the high strings up here. So this up here is gonna feel like a Fender guitar, and down here is a little bit lower, and it's gonna help with those lower tunings and keeping your guitar in tune and fully intonated across the board. And really good, feels really good as well, very easy to get used to. 24 stainless steel frets. We got some dot inlays on here. This is a bird's eye roasted maple fingerboard and neck. Again, on the back, we have the Endure neck. This is a Strandberg patent design. We have this trapezoid neck design here, and that is to make sure that your hand is playing straight across the fingerboard. Basically, you can just put your thumb on the back of that trapezoid point, and it's just gonna keep your hand straight instead of you moving like this. It's just gonna help with wrist pains down the road if that is something that is affecting your playing, and this is just a way to avoid it. Lumen lace side dots on the side, might be hard to see them right now, but these things do glow in the dark and makes for playing on dark stages really nice. There's also two carbon fiber rods that are in this neck to help keep the neck super straight. And that is more or less it on this guitar. It's very light, very well balanced as well, and it feels really good, especially if I'm just kind of playing like this. It fits on my body really nice, and it's very easy to use, very light, especially because you don't have the headstock. It does save a good amount of weight on this guitar. Feels really good, feels really comfy. Let's plug it in, let's hear how it sounds. Now, after living with this guitar, setting it up, plugging it in, hearing it, jamming on it, I gotta say this is a really, really wicked guitar here. Guitar feels very comfy. Again, it's designed to be extremely ergonomic, and the guitar more or less just kind of plays itself and it stays out of your way. The guitar is also extremely light. I think this thing weighs maybe less than 7 pounds. You know, the fact that it doesn't have a headstock is really helping out with that, but this guitar just sounds great, feels great, and it's very easy to play. The Endure neck, which is very, very comfy. The neck profile is really awesome as well. You can kind of rest your thumb on either one of these like angles right here, and it just keeps your hand straight, which is the whole point of this guitar. Keeping your hand straight and not having to strain it to make weird chords, and in part with the fan fret design just to keep all of your fingers straight when you are playing the guitar, as they basically are pointing towards where your fingers should actually be on the guitar. It's a really smart design, it's really comfy, and it really feels great. These things are awesome. If they're in a local music store, definitely go give it a shot, because you're gonna see what it's all about, and you're definitely gonna notice it, and you're gonna feel it, that your hands are less tired when you're playing the guitar, especially your fretting. You can get a lot of tones out of the guitar with the alternate voicings, the three-way switch. Like, it can do a lot. It can sound like many other guitars, which is really sweet. I believe the bridge and the locking nut up here have all been replaced. I think the locking nut is all one piece now, rather than 7, 8, or 6 individual saddles. And the bridge down here, I think the way you adjust the action has been changed as well. I will say that sometimes dust and dirt and debris can actually get in here because these parts are not sealed off. I'll try to get a better picture. And I did have some issues with adjusting the action, even with that set screw that's on the side of each saddle fully out of the guitar. So I had to throw a little bit of gear oil in there and just work it just to make sure everything was moving. So keep that in mind when you are playing or buying some of these guitars, especially if you are buying one of the older ones, just to save a little bit of money. The output jack is also on the back here, is hidden away, and this does not get in your way when you are sitting and playing in the classical position. So that's really nice as well. And I think one thing that I would have liked to see differently on this guitar is the battery compartment here for the Fishmans. You can see that there are a lot of Fishman pickups and products that have the rechargeable battery pack, so it would have been nice to see that integrated like into this control cavity right here, but is what it is. You know, changing out a 9-volt isn't the end of the world, but would be nice to see that going forward if it's not on these Strandberg guitars. Now, I haven't played a brand new one. It'd be nice to get a new one on the channel and just kind of A/B them from the older version to the newer version. But if you can get one of these on the used market, I gotta say the quality control just kind of checks out. There were no issues, no tall frets, no dead frets, no sharp frets, no like issues. I mean, the bridge kind of pops up every now and then, but that's a known issue, and Strandberg will tell you how to fix that. Very easy fix as well. All the electronics worked, and there was no finish flaws or anything like that. Of course, this guitar is used. It came in just for a setup, but I gotta say, it seems like the proprietary hardware, the overall build, and whatever factory is kind of finishing up these guitars is doing a good job for actually like making sure these guitars get to the owners with no issues. So yeah, gotta say, really good representation of what you get. Now, if you're looking to buy one of these guitars brand new, you won't be able to get this exact one that you see right here. I believe this color combination with the fretboard and the neckwoods has been discontinued, but if you want to get the latest Strandberg with a trim, Fishman pickups, and that's a 7-string as well, it's going to run you around $2,600 US, and that is a good chunk of change. The guitar is still made in Indonesia, but regardless of where the country of origin is, it all depends on the quality control. You're getting a lot of features, you're getting a lot of engineering behind these guitars. And to build a guitar like this that is very proprietary with proprietary hardware, name brand pickups, and the Endure neck, and the fact that it's also a headless guitar with, again, more proprietary components, there are going to be some price increases, and that's going to be up to you to see if that is right for you. If you are someone who has dealt with carpal tunnel, repetitive strain injuries, or tendonitis, like this might be something you want to look into, because this is, again, designed to make guitar playing much more easier. And this is also designed to keep your wrists and your hands like actually comfortable when you're playing guitar, so you're not overexerting muscles that are actually required to play the guitar that you might not know that you actually have to use when you play the guitar. So if those are ringing bells for you and those are checking boxes for you, this might be the guitar for you. And yeah, this is pretty sweet guitar. That's going to do it for today's video, checking out and setting up this Strandberg 7-string Boden with a trem on here. Again,
Awesome guitar, really sweet guitar. All thoughts and opinions down below. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, you know, all of that good stuff. Thanks for checking this out, and I'll see you next time.